Not once during this sit down did I hear any of the men talk about how to be a genuinely good partner. Not even the women. Wow. Let me just bring it down some. So I just came back from the Roomates podcast tour, which was in Atlanta. My friend invited me out. I'm making this video because I was not able to get the mic to ask my questions and air my grievances like a lot of people were. I'm just thinking about what I want to talk about and where I'm going to go with this. I don't know how it's going to be received, but I'm just going to say what I got to say and we're just going to leave it at that, okay? Basically, I left the podcast feeling like I'm definitely going to be single until I die. I know that they're saying that their main objective is to help lessen the gap that seems to be between men and women, but I do not think that they are hearing themselves with a woman's ears. And the women who subscribe, to the type of life that these types of men are, then this is a type of man. I'm just boiling with stuff that I really want to say. It starts off with a Q&A, and a lady asked, what are the top 3 things that make a woman not wifey, right? And his response was, if I can't bring you around my friends, I want you to pay attention, because I don't think people be paying attention when you hear these types of answers from men, all right? Listen to what he's saying. If I can't bring you around my friends, if your Instagram is like you and your body, you don't know how to conduct yourself, if you're not good for my business, if you just don't fit my life. Fast forward to another part of the conversation. He was talking about because a young lady asked a question. And there was a guy who asked a question too, and his question was actually really, really good. So there is a young lady, she asked, when is the appropriate time to have the conversation about what are we? And another girl asked, when is the appropriate time to bring up the conversation about us moving in together? And his answer was, to the move-in question was, you don't live with a man. I agree. I'm about to be 31, and the only man I have ever lived with is my ex-husband. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know for a fact, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. It's just not my thing. Like, I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all meet a dude and then like 4, 5, 6 months y'all live in his. Bruh, I'm still trying to see if I really like this dude. And then most of the time I'm trying to convince myself that I do. Whole time I'm in here writing in my journal how I can't stand him. I don't know how y'all do it. Anyway, so he said, don't live with man. Completely agree with you there. You didn't lose me. I agree. You don't live with a man if you're not married to him. Don't live with him, because the way men's minds are and the way the whole world coddles them to never drop that way of thinking, girl, you're not going to change his mind. Do not live with him. Don't live with him. A man will marry you and still be single. Y'all don't read these tweets about the girls talking about the most single men in America are y'all husbands? They're not lying. Then because I'm gonna get comfortable. I think I bruised my foot walking in my boots. I look so cute tonight. Anyway, then the other girl, she asked, when is the appropriate time to bring up the what are we question? And he gave a very good answer, which is the only appropriate answer. If you have to ask, the answer is no. Like, I have learned this. Anytime you have to ask a man, what are we? He was just wanting to go with the flow and hoping you would never bring it up. But he really don't want to be nothing with you. He really just want to keep doing what y'all doing. And if you would just do that quietly and happily with a smile, no matter how uncomfortable you are, that's the piece he asking for. Okay? He want a piece of that booty. He wants you to be quiet about it. That's just that. If you're asking, now you're putting pressure on him. And you're putting pressure on him because he don't want to answer the question. Because if he wanted to be with you, you would be with him. Argue with your mama. And if you end up being with him after you've had to ask him, you're going to suffer in the relationship Point blank, period. You're gonna suffer. You're gonna beg. You're gonna cry. You're gonna feel lonely. You're gonna think he doesn't like you. You're gonna think he hates you. He doesn't hate you. He might. It's just mostly resentment. Because why does the person that he really don't even want to be with keep making all these demands? He don't want to do nothing for you, girl. He don't want you. Okay? He does not want you. He don't want to be with you. He don't want to be your boyfriend. He don't want to be your baby daddy. He don't want to be your husband. He don't want you to meet his friends, his mama, his co-workers. He don't want to take you to nothing. And I'm talking to past me. Okay? For all the girls who feeling like, why is she saying this so harsh? Baby, I'm talking about something I've done. Okay? Knowing that it feel nasty, knowing that it don't feel right, knowing that I shouldn't have to be asking these questions, knowing I've never even been in a situation where I had to ask. Cause I'm telling him, no, chill out, slow down. And I'm over here begging, what's going on? What's the what? Nothing. Stop asking. You look dumb. You look desperate. You're begging. If you gotta ask, you already begging. Anyway, I agree. Don't ever ask no man, what are we? If he's showing you what it is and you don't like it, you tell him we done. That's just it. And then I was disappointed. I was disappointed with the questions that the women were asking. I was disappointed with the way that the women conducted themselves. Oh, I'm finna say it. It really, really made me sad that I had to agree with the men. That it's like he said it to Q&A and the girl got up there and did not ask not now a question. Ma'am, this is why they say we don't listen. And by we, I mean y'all, because I'm a them they. I'm a them they. I'm not a y'all, she, her, yeah. I think I'm definitely a them they. Cause ain't no way. Ain't no way this man got up there and literally went on a tangent for 3 minutes and 27 seconds about how when I pass you this microphone, any grievances that you have, any story times you want to tell, any feelings that you have, let's save it for the end. We are just here to answer questions. All right? This is not time for a sermon or a testimony. We just here to ask a question. So make sure when you get this mic, you ask a question. And the girl gets up there and literally, I just think it's funny how I'm not hearing a question mark in none of this. And we need to stop with the black. Literally got on her soapbox and went on for 5 minutes and didn't ask not one damn question. Girl, you're embarrassing us. Sit down. Please, you're embarrassing. Then another girl got up there. It is hard. It is so freaking hard to want a conversation to progress to a point in which you can actually reach a resolve that is beneficial to both men and women. Say it right, Alex. Say it right, Alex. It's hard to even get to that place when the men are stuck on making sure that the women are obedient, are making sure that all of their needs are being met by the woman. Not even talking about reciprocity, because not once during this sit down did I hear any of the men talk about how to be a genuinely good partner. All they talked about is what they want, what they need, who they expect you to be for them. Not one of the men, not even the women thought, well, who are you going to be for me? I wanted to ask the question for all the men out there who are marriage minded, what are you doing to work on yourself aside from podcast and therapy to get yourself in a position to reciprocate the love that this woman is going to give you? What are you prepping yourself to give? What type of things are you focusing on? What type of books are you reading? What type of social settings are you finding yourself losing friends because you realize your friends aren't marriage minded and you realize that, dang, some of this is not going to work if I really want to be in a healthy relationship, because these will be the people I'm hanging out with. Are any of you men going through that type of spiritual awakening where you're like, wow, once I decided I want to be a husband, and I'm not talking about the overseer that Hafiz, I think his name Hafiz, she said. A man got up there with his raggedy ass, with his raggedy ass and said, well, how my name is who gives a damn, talking about some. And I'm saying it like this on purpose because if you want to hear what I have to say, you're going to hear what I have to say regardless. I am so tired of delivery being weaponized as a way for men to mute their ears to hearing anything that a woman says and expecting to be coddled, but in the same breath not wanting to be talked to and treated like a child. Pick a struggle. You cannot pick it up and put it down when you feel like, if I'm not going to coddle you, I'm not going to coddle you. And if my tone is so offensive, turn the damn video off. You have childish ears anyway, and this would go over your head. Anyway, he got up there saying whatever his name was, saying how he has a job in tech, identifying, what he does and who he is. It's the same thing to him. And he was just like, I just want to know, asking a rhetorical question. That's the thing. The question is, I don't think it was supposed to be rhetorical, sir. He gonna ask, I just want to know, what does a man who makes $200,000 and $300,000, what does he stand to gain from marriage, and why should we even be interested in marriage? Why are you even asking? Why are you asking? Why are you asking? You know that you don't, you know you do not have the emotional capacity to even see a woman. And when I say see, I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about completely, in her complete essence, just as she is. Because even the guy who was I don't remember his name, the dark-skinned one. I'm just gonna say the dark-skinned one. I don't remember his name. I'm not trying to be rude. I watched the podcast. I think his name is Hafiz, and I don't remember the other guy's name, the light-skinned one. He was funny. Anyway, he asked that stupid behind question, and Hafiz had, I feel so bad. Hafiz had a good response to his question. So he was just like, take my number down. I want to see you where you at in like 40 years from now, because time gonna hold all the receipts. Now this is where he was right. This it's like, it's this weird balance, because this is why I watch this podcast. He's not completely far gone, but I do believe he just has a lot of internalized misogyny. And I don't think he's at a place in his life right now where he can see it. But I think that once his wife begins her evolution as an individual, and she starts realizing that she has different desires outside of who he wants her to be, and he starts realizing how that doesn't fit for him, and how that is not her responsibility to sketch away at herself so that she can be small enough to fit in all the little tiny cracks and crevices that he deems as big enough in his life to occupy. What if your wife decides to expand? What if your wife decides, I don't want to be just a mom. I don't want to just anyway, let me just stay on track. This is the problem right here. We be ranting and they don't like that. That make them not listen. I get it. Listen, man. So the guy gets up there, he says that, and Hafiz is just like, I want to see you in 40 years from now and how you feel about that, because, men have a desire to spread their oats and, leave babies or whatever, do their thing all over the world. And when you've done all that, tell me how you feel. When you sitting, basically saying you're going to be old and by yourself. And if you think that all your money is going to make you feel good, you're going to have all that money. The more money you get, this is what a light-skinned dude said. He said, the more money you get, you're going to realize that more money means the less opportunities for you to have a genuine connection with somebody else. He didn't say it like that, but he pretty much said, you're going to be looking at the women around you like, who can I trust? Because I got all this money. I can buy anything, even people. So to ask the question, what does the money serve you, sir? How is the money helping? You're going to need to up your security, which costs money. And if you can buy them and they know all of your secrets, can you really trust paid help? Can you trust them? Does that make you feel good? Okay. Anyway, and I really like that response, because I like that response, but then I felt like his response lacked, he did not address the essence of a woman, and that keeps pissing me off. That is the element that their podcast is missing, because just him saying that his wife is a supplement to his life. Let's look up the definition of the word supplement. Okay, this is a good meaning. Something that completes or enhances something else when added to it. This isn't bad. Okay, maybe I just took that wrong. I'm not gonna edit that out. All right. I think it was just the way he was saying everything else and putting that in with the word supplement. It just rubbed me the wrong way because he had a lot of me my statements, and it's like, are you reducing your wife to just a vessel to giving you your babies, and use that as a way to basically guilt the other guy into feeling bad? And it's like, why don't we talk about how beautiful the companionship is between a man and a woman? Why don't we talk about how amazing it is to know? And the other guy brought it up just a little bit, but then he got into the business aspect. It's like, instead of men always feeling the need to appeal to their brethren's need for financial stability and security when trying to give them incentives for why they should be in relationships, why don't we just keep pushing the emotional benefits of a relationship until they want to explore that? Because us constantly appealing to a man's need for financial stability is getting us in a place where a man feels like the more money he makes, he can pretty much opt out. And he can opt out, but saying it like that is like saying that you can make enough money to where a woman is completely invaluable. Not when we're out here, not with all that women do. We're not doing that, right? But he did, and I didn't like that. That just rubbed me the complete wrong way. And Hafiz is one of those people that when he talks, you have to listen to the whole statement. Like, don't check out, because by the end of what he says, you'll be good. But if you just stop listening halfway through, you're not gonna like him. Like, you gotta it's like, okay, keep talking, because where you starting off at, I don't like it. Like, when he started talking, it's like, okay, what the hell are you trying to say? Oh, okay. Oh, you right. It take a minute. I think it's really, really sad that all I hear, all over the internet, all I see, even in my own experiences, the reasons that it seems like dating is kind of sucky is because, one, women are just out here being single and taking their asses to brunch. They're out here being single and they're just, I don't know, going to the club, smoking hookah, going shopping, getting their nails and their hair done, but they're not actually doing any work. And I could tell that they're not doing any work because of the level of questions they were asking. Like the girl, one woman, she got up there and she asked the question about, the one who was ranting. The girl who was ranting about how I don't like the problems, and I don't like how we keep having this same conversation, and I don't like how, what did she say? I don't like how the black community is always talking about the 50, and it's worn out. And it's like, well, you're part of the worn out conversation. If you do not want to be a part of the problem, you're going to need to learn how to actually present an opportunity for a resolve by asking good questions. Just to go ahead and put it out there, what would have been a better response when he told you to ask a question during the Q&A is to say, what do you think we as a community can do as far as men and women? What do you think we can do to make it easier for us to communicate our needs so we can actually be on one accord? What do you think women should communicate better? What do you think men should communicate better? Because it seems like we have some type of disconnect. And that's why these same arguments keep coming up. Just like in a relationship, when you're arguing about the same thing over and over and over, it's because either the person didn't really fully listen to your request, they don't really care about fulfilling their request, or you didn't really reach a resolve. You didn't really reach a resolve. You just kind of complained about it. You just kind of like nagged and bitched and moaned. But when you have a grievance in a situation, in a relationship, you can take this anywhere you want to. You have to be direct. And I think the issue with dating, since I wasn't able to talk, I think a main issue with dating is a lot of people can't be direct because they don't really know what they want. So if you don't know what you want, it's going to be hard for you to identify what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and you're not going to know what to do about it. You're not even going to feel comfortable enough to bring it up to them because you're not even sure if you should be having those types of feelings or where they come from. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And a lot of people are just not, they're not doing the work. I feel like y'all have this, it's like as soon as the girl walk into your life, you want her to be like, and seen, perfect. So you want her to be perfect, but you don't want her to think she always right. And you want her to take accountability for things, but if she try to hold you accountable for things, she's not giving you peace. That's the problem. Then a guy asked a really good question. He was just like, what if you're like arguing with the girl and you tell her something and it was really hard for you to say that thing, and then she uses it and she throws it up in your face during the argument? I was like, oh, cut her off. It depends on the severity of the thing. If it's something little, like, man, you know what? Well, I can see, and that's the thing. I can't even say it's little because that would be how I see it. See what I'm saying? When you're like when you're aware of yourself and of your partner, you got to be careful with when you say what. I dated a guy and he knew about the very tumultuous relationship that I have with my mother. He used that as a, it's funny now, but he used it as a way to try to manipulate me into thinking that because of that relationship, I wasn't able to recognize the closeness between a mother and her son. It's like, sir, the type of trauma that I got makes it very easy for me to recognize toxic. And the type of relationship that you and your mama got, that's not jealousy speaking, sir. I'm telling you. Abuse. Just evil. When people do stuff like that, girl, don't talk to them no more. Don't ever talk. You will never be able to trust that person. That person is like, if you throw those types of things in people's faces, you were looking for a reason to discredit them and invalidate them emotionally because you never wanted to. You always had an agenda. A person who cares for you, who wants to be there for you, is going to look for opportunities to validate you. It's going to look for opportunities to make you feel safe. It's going to create and cultivate an environment for you to continue to be open, even in moments of conflict. I'm talking deep, get out of my eye, get out of my eye, get out of my eye. Deep conflict. This person is still thinking, I want him or her to feel heard. I need them to know that I'm here. I don't ever want them to feel like they can't come to me, but at the same time, I need them to know they're gonna respect me. Same time, not first, same time. You had me in the first half, thinking that I didn't know what healthy was. As much work as I done on myself, I know damn well what healthy is, and you ain't it. You don't have to worry about me. You do not have to worry about me. So overall, it was like a comment. Oh, I got chills. It was like a comment section under a Kevin Samuels video in real life. Like this one that they gave a scenario, and the scenario was, so a guy and a girl are dating. They go on 2 dates. The first date is good and the second date is better than the first. And the guy is feeling like the dates were amazing. He had a great time. They're vibing, blah, blah, blah. He reaches out to hang out with the girl again, and she tells him, no, she can't come out tonight. She's busy. She just says she's busy and she has other plans. He gets on her Instagram and he see her at the club in the section twerking, hookah, Casamigos shots. How should that guy thinks the girl feels about him now? The guy got up there and said, no, he said, what do you think that woman's interest level in you really is after seeing her on Instagram or in her stories in the club or whatever? You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, a -1. And then another guy was just like, oh yeah, she for the street, so that's what she doing, cause twerking is cheating. Okay. My issue with that is this type of separation anxiety that a lot of men use to, what's the word I'm looking for? They look for that always wants to be with you as a marker for her interest, right? I have been in that place, and every time I was there, I was unhealthy. Every time. If I want to be by him, I want to be by him. That's not healthy. It's not healthy. I think that a healthily balanced woman, while she enjoys her time with you and she wants to see you, if her friends want to link up, she's going to go. You have to have a life. You have to have friends. You have to have space. You have to have a lot of time to yourself, especially because y'all do not live together. And just taking care of yourself as an individual is a lot of work if you're doing it right. If you're doing it right. Talk on the phone, do the FaceTimes, you know what I'm saying? But every weekend, it's not gonna be for you. Her friend's gonna have a birthday. Somebody gonna wanna go to brunch. Why she gotta miss out? Why does that mean she's not interested in you? Y'all want a girl who's obsessed with you, but then you wanna holler that she needy. Pick one. Which one is it? If she wanna be with you all day, y'all say that because y'all just want somebody to make you feel needed so bad. You're unhealthy. If you are showing up for yourself, you do not need somebody else to make you feel needed, to make you feel important, to make you feel big. You already do that for yourself. You going to the gym, you know what I'm saying? You stacking your money up, you reading your books, you meditating, you keeping your grooming up to point, smelling good, looking good, just scrumptious. Okay? Ugh. But no, y'all just out here being raggedy, watching Kevin Samuels complaining, fussing, and cussing on the internet. These hoes for the streets, get that money, woo, 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 bag chase, the bros. I'm tired. I am tired. I'm tired of y'all. Like, I get where they're going with the podcast. I do. I get it. But I just feel like women aren't valuable in a man's life just because she can conform and adopt to his ideologies and all of his standards. Women are actually most precious when you leave them wild. And by wild, I mean fully able to express her complete essence without having to dumb it down, calm it down, chill it out, print proper, tuck it in. Like, the type of women that y'all be wanting, like, you can have those women, but not the way that you think. Not the way that you think. Just like with women, like the type of men that we want, honestly, it's different. It's just different because women are always being told to change themselves, to work on this, to do this. And we do it because that's just what we were raised to do. And men don't, because that is just what they were raised to not do. You don't change yourself for no woman. She go get with it or get lost. I think that women have the capacity to change it by just completely Xing men out until they do what you want. Don't give any man access to you until they are all willing to do, or the special one is willing to do what you want him to do. To listen and to hear and to speak from a place of love without being condescending, mansplaining to you. Things like that. Don't entertain anything that's outside of that. Not even just because the battery's died on your vibrator or your rollers just stopped working and you're tired of tickling your own little cootie cat. Not even. Keep telling them no, sir. Keep telling them no. Keep saying nope, can't hang out. Busy. That's what you're going to have to do. So yeah, in conclusion, it was a no for me. Like, the environment got really hostile at one point. And then Hafiz started to defend himself, which I feel like in his position, he doesn't have to, because his work speaks for itself, so he shouldn't have to defend himself, especially because the people that he's defending himself against have already let it be known that they don't know who he is or watch the podcast. I watched the podcast. I've been watching for a while. I think he was recording his room at one point. I was watching those videos. I was watching the videos when they were doing them with the mic. I watched Rebecca Lynn Pope, love her, still watch her. I watched Stephen Labossiere, who is fine as hell. I was like, let me keep watching. But he says some stuff too that's just like, there it is. They're gonna misogyny. Like, you just can't find a man that hasn't been raised with it. And if he's aware of it, girl, he's just gonna use it as a way to exploit you sexually. Like, if a man, and which is just, I'm tired. But yes, I mean, I think you should go to it in your city. I just feel like it doesn't. All in all, my personal take is that I don't actually see how they are contributing to the solution beyond continuing to bring the same topics to the table. I think that they're very helpful for young men who need guidance. I think they're good for young men who need to understand what purpose is and how to do that. I think that they're good for initiating certain like conversations, but that follow through to help us like actually, because the conversations don't need to be had anymore. That's just how I feel about it. We don't need to ask those questions. We don't need to, they've been asked, they've been answered. We all know what the other people feel. We know, right? And he's touched on this. He was like, people keep asking these questions and they keep wondering like, what about this sex and this sex? And the truth of the matter is, you need to be asking your person, paying your person. But make sure that your person is an individual before you ask. You cannot come to a person who is not aware of themselves and ask them to come together with just you and form your own world with your own rules when they following behind what everybody else says. Their needs and wants are what other people tell them they should be. Their expectations of you are what they daddy say a woman's supposed to be. You can't do that with that person. You can't. I left it feeling like, maybe it's just not for me, because if he's the type of guy who most women would consider marriage material, then maybe my idea of marriage is shot. Like, I would never want to be in a relationship. And you know something? I don't think that's a fair like, okay, let's just keep it a buck. I don't think that this is a fair assumption to come to on their marriage, because I don't know what type of husband he is. But based off of the way that he was talking, some of his talking points, like, I got a sense of, while you would feel safe, I think that there would still be a deep uneasiness, if that makes any sense. Like, maybe even a slight confusion, like, it's like you get it, but you don't get it. I feel like that could come up. And maybe like she wouldn't understand where it came from, he wouldn't understand where it came from, but as they both evolved, she would begin to understand it more. I don't know, don't quote me, I don't know their life, but I'm just saying it just seems very, I've done it. I've done the whole, I'm not gonna work, I'm gonna take care of the kids, I'm gonna hold him down. And motherhood is beautiful, right? But it's not enough. It's not. It is not enough. As beautiful as they are, as much as I love them, I never want to miss the opportunity to teach them something, to fulfill a need for them, to inspire some type of confidence, teach them about self-aware. I love talking to my girls. I love teaching them things. I love learning from them. I love hearing about their dreams and their goals, and I love the joy and the look on their face when they set a goal and they reach it. I love how independent, how ambitious they are. I love how they are not afraid to take the initiative, how compassionate they are for other people. But at the same time, that is not enough for me as an individual. I am their mother, but that is not all I am. That's all I'm saying. I have desires. I have passion. I have dreams. I have ambitions. To say that it is heartbreaking to know that you never self-actualized. You didn't really do all of the things you wanted to do, because sometimes you don't realize there's more that you want to do until after you have them. And then you're in a relationship with a guy who's saying, I don't want her to be doing this. I want her to be solely focused on the kids. It's time for me to go to sleep. It's just interesting. Yeah, it's just interesting. Yeah, drinks was overpriced though. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Here's some footage from that night. See you in the next one.